Hi everybody, welcome to Shai's Asana and welcome to your class for Yoga for Change. So as most people know, change is constantly happening. You can't stop it, and I think the key really is to not just accept it, but embrace it. The Yoga Sutras teach us that our true selves are Purusha, which is the observer, and that what is perceived by us all around us, that is not the reality. That is just our perception of reality. And reality just resides in us because everything else constantly changes. Everything lives and dies and breathes and moves, but the true self is within, and that observes that. So we're just going to take today to flow while we embrace that change within and around us all. So let's start seated on the mat. Bring the soles of your feet together with the knees dropping open towards the sides, coming into Baddha Konasana, finding that diamond shape in your legs, maybe wrapping your hands around your ankles, and perhaps seeing if you can allow those knees to continue to drop open towards the mat. Keep your spine nice and long here. Close your eyes and start to settle in. Getting in touch with your breath. Inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your nose. Continuing to inhale and exhale through your nose now and for the rest of. Perhaps walking your hands forward on the mat in front of you while you bow over your diamond-shaped legs. In the Yoga Sutras, it is said that we must learn to be observers in everything that we do. When we truly do yoga is when we do that. It's when we become the observers and recognize the truth is within us. When we identify ourselves by our status, our actions, our materials, and our current circumstances, we are in a judgment mode where we are not the observer, and that is not yoga. So to truly do yoga, we have to let go. I like to think of embracing aparigraha, one of the yamas, which means non-grasping and non-attachment. Knowing that everything is changing and we don't have to be attached one way or another. And rather than thinking of being ready for change at any moment, just knowing that change is happening at every moment and that we can accept it and embrace it and move forward, continuing to observe as we travel along this path. Perhaps you would like to set an intention for change in your practice today, or perhaps you would like to just meditate on those thoughts and words. Your choice. On your next inhale, start to walk your hands back to center. Open your eyes. Good. Take a deep breath. Sigh it out. Deep inhale through your nose. Sigh it out. One more time. Inhale through your nose. Exhale as you sigh it out. Moving on, let's turn onto one of your hips and just roll over onto the mat. So you're coming into a tabletop position, bringing your shoulders right over your wrists and your hips right over your knees. Inhale to drop your belly as you look up for cow pose. Exhale, round your spine, look down at your navel, taking cat. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, round the spine for cat. Inhale for cow. And exhale for cat. Good. Come to neutral. Inhale as you lift your right arm to the sky. Exhale, thread the right arm under your left and bring your right ear and right shoulder to the mat, threading the needle. Keep breathing here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, push your left hand into the mat as you drag that right hand back, lifting the right shoulder, and then coming back into tabletop. Inhale, open the left arm to the sky. Exhale as you thread that left arm under the right, bringing the left ear and the shoulder to the mat, finding that twisting stretch. Continuing to breathe. 2 more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. On your inhale, start to push the right hand into the mat so you can unthread the needle and return that left palm to the mat. From here, start walking your hands out in front of you. Walk them all the way out to the front of the mat, then lower your elbows down, and then slide them further forward, bringing your forehead to the mat, coming into puppy pose. Opening your heart, bringing that chest closer and closer to the mat, keeping the hips stacked right over the knees as they are. Perhaps lifting the forehead and bringing the chin to the mat, closer down, opening the heart even more. Inhale and exhale. Keep breathing. Take 2 more breaths here. To come out of this, slowly push your forehead into the mat so you can lift your elbows up. Then shift the weight into your hands. Push those hands into the mat to lift the forehead up. Walk your hands back. Good. Open the knees wide. Send the hips back and down in between the heels, coming into child's pose. Beautiful. On your next inhale, come into tabletop position. Tuck your toes under. Shift your hips up and back, coming into your first downward facing dog. Walk the dog by bending the right knee, then the left, and the right, and left. Keep going. Noticing your body, how you feel in this moment. Noticing that even in your body, everything is constantly changing and shifting. Some days you feel warm and open, other days you feel tight and perhaps a little bit stressed. And knowing that, just observing it without making judgment, that's the journey. Just allowing yourself to observe your body and know that it is what it is, and it's as it should be. All right, come to neutral. Bend your knees pretty deeply. Lift your heels up forward. Step slowly towards the top of the mat, bringing your feet in between your hands and take your forward fold. Keep the knees bent here and grab for opposite elbows. Allow your head to hang heavy. Perhaps nod yes or no a few times. Really allow yourself to deepen into your forward fold here, hanging heavy towards the ground, letting go of that tension in your back if you have any. Perhaps sway side to side a little bit. And then release your hands to the mat. With your knees bent, slowly start to roll up to a standing position, one vertebra at a time. Lifting the head last, arms coming by your sides. Beautiful. Inhale, bring your arms overhead. Clasp all 10 fingers together and release the index fingers only. On your inhale, pull your arms up and then over to the right, sending the hips to the left, trying to keep your body from swaying forward or back. As if you're between two panes of glass, you're coming into your standing crescent moon pose. Good. I know this is a deep stretch. Just allow yourself to feel where you are and be there and be okay with it. No need to go further than you feel like going, and you can always come out of it and go back into it if you wish. Continue to breathe, inhaling and exhaling. Inhale and exhale. One more time here. Inhale, exhale, and on your inhale, rise to center. Let's go to the other side. Inhale, stretch up, and then over to the left, pushing the hips to the right. Trying to stay straight up and down. Try to keep those shoulders back so that your biceps are in line with your ears. Try not to arch your back or stick out your tummy. But be okay with where you are. Again, observing your body, observing this moment and how you feel. Continuing to breathe, perhaps pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, or perhaps not. But don't make a judgment either way. On your next inhale, come to center. Release your head back and look up at your thumbs. You can either stay here or perhaps with your head back, start to drag those biceps back near your ears. Perhaps stay here in your back bend, or maybe you want to go a little further, pushing the hips forward and coming into a deeper back bend. It's up to you. Take whatever version you feel like taking in your body. Not taking any judgment on yourself, just being where you are. And then rise to center. Inhale. And on your exhale, with a flat back, come down to the mat, folding forward. Release the clasp of your hands to the mat. Bend your knees pretty deeply. Pick up your heels and then slide your hands under your heels so the fingertips face the toes. You're grabbing the bottom of your feet. So you're really pulling onto your heels with your hands here. On your next inhale, start to straighten your legs, bringing your forehead close to your shins, pulling on the heels, bending at your elbows, using your biceps to bring your chest, your torso down further, close to those thighs, close to the knees, close to the shins. Perhaps you can bring your forehead to touch the shins, going to where it feels right in your body. Take another breath. Keep that breath moving. Don't hold your breath here. Make sure you keep moving, constantly changing. Remember that breath is part of that. It's always moving and flowing. Bend your knees. Release the grip of your heels. Bring your hands out in front of you. Keeping your knees bent, slowly start to roll up to standing. One vertebrae at a time. Arms coming by your sides. Head is the last thing to lift. Tadasana, mountain pose. Beautiful. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, bring your arms overhead. Exhale, sit your hips back and down, coming into chair pose. Feet can be together or apart here. It's your preference. Breathing into your chair, pointing your tailbone down and wrapping your ribs in, engaging your core. Feeling strong here. Good. Inhale and exhale. Maybe sink a little deeper with those hips. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale as you hinge forward, coming into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward, plant your palms, bend your knees, and step your feet to the back of the mat, coming into your high plank position. Hold your plank and either stay here or come down to your knees. We're going to take 3 breaths in our plank here. Feeling strong. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. And exhale. One more inhale. And on your next exhale, bend your elbows, chaturanga. Then lower all the way to the mat. Untuck your toes. Reach your arms behind you. On your inhale, start to peel your head, neck, and shoulders up. Maybe lift those hands up. Perhaps start lifting the feet up off the mat. Breathing here, using your back to really pull those muscles up and contract them so you can lift up even higher. Take 2 more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. 1 more inhale and exhale. Release to the mat. Turn your head to one side. Take a moment of rest. Feeling your body, being where you are. Turn your head down so your forehead is on the mat, and on your next inhale, peel your head, neck, and shoulders up. Lift the hands up. Fly the feet up behind you if you can. Perhaps coming up a little higher, really engaging those back muscles, engaging the glutes as you lift and you contract. Inhale and exhale. Take 2 more breaths. Stay here. Rise higher. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more time. Inhale. Exhale, and then release to the mat. Turn your head to the other side. Take a moment of rest. Turn your head down to face the mat. And 1 more time, we will do this locust pose. Inhale as you bring your head, neck, and shoulders up. Perhaps fly the hands up. Perhaps starting to lift those feet up, those kneecaps up. The thighs maybe lift off the mat. Pulling yourself up even higher as you fly. Really engaging the back. Feeling strong and lifted. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Release to the mat. So good. Bring your hands by your chest. Push your hands into the mat as you lift your hips up and send them back in between your legs onto your heels, coming into child's pose. Beautiful. Inhale. And exhale. On your next inhale, come up to tabletop position. Drop your belly and lift your gaze for cow. Round your spine and look down for cat. Inhale, take your cow pose. Exhale for cat. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale for cat. Come to neutral tabletop. Tuck your toes under, send your hips up and back, coming in a downward facing dog. Good. From here, bend your knees, look forward, step or hop up to the top of the mat, in between your hands with your feet. Come to your forward fold on your exhale. Inhale, lift up halfway, look forward on the mat. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale as you rise to stand with a flat back this time. Arms come up overhead, Urdhva Hasta Tadasana. Exhale, release your arms by your sides. Tadasana, beautiful. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant your palms, bend your knees, step to the back of the mat, take your plank. Hold on your inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, take cobra or up dog, where your hips are lifted. Exhale, shoot those hips up and back, tucking the toes under, down dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up behind you. Open the hip. So opening the hips out to the right. Maybe bend that right knee. Point that right knee up towards the ceiling if you can. Maybe you want to stay here. Perhaps you can come into wild thing, flipping your dog by stepping that right foot behind you, lifting the hips and reaching the right arm towards the front of the room. If you're in wild thing, come back to three-legged dog and square off the hips. On your inhale, step your right foot through in between your hands and rise up to crescent lunge. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Twist your torso to the right and hook your left elbow on the outside of your right knee for your crescent twisted pyramid pose. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, rise your torso back up and untwist. Now this time I would like you to spin your back heel down onto the mat, perhaps taking a slight step in, turning those left toes to face the top left corner of the mat, taking warrior one. Open your heart as you cactus your arms and look up, take a back bend. On your next inhale, bring your torso back up to center. Now release your arms by your sides, clasp them together behind your back. Open your heart again, look up, take an inhale. Exhale, bow forward, bringing your torso to the inside of your right leg. Bringing those clasped hands up overhead, reaching them towards the front of the room for humble warrior. On your inhale, rise back up, release your arms, bring them overhead. Straighten your right leg. Now bow forward over your extended right leg, coming into pyramid pose, perhaps walking those hands out in front of you further, trying to keep a flat, long spine here. Inhale and exhale, perhaps bringing your forehead closer to your shin or your knee, continuing to send that breath through your body. Plant your palms on the mat, framing your right foot. Push your weight into your right hand as you lift your left hand as you lift your right hand towards the ceiling, twisting your torso to the right. Keep breathing. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, release the right hand to the mat. Pivot onto the ball of your back foot. Bend the right knee. Lower the left knee to the mat. Untuck the left toes. Lift the torso up and raise the arms for Anjaneyasana. From here, cactus the arms again and look up, taking a slight back bend. Inhale to come back up, arms overhead. So beautiful. Reach the hands down to frame the right foot. Slide the right foot forward a little bit as you flex the right foot towards your face, coming into Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits pose. Staying here, perhaps walking your hands out further so you can bow over that extended right leg. Beautiful. Walk your hands back just a little bit and rebend that right knee, coming a little deeper by sliding that left knee back on the mat behind you. Coming into lizard lunge. Now walk your right hand to the inside of your right foot and perhaps heel toe that right foot a little more to the side towards the outer edge of the mat. You can either stay here or you can come down onto your forearms, one or both, if that feels good for you. Keep breathing. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, bring your palms back to the mat if you've lowered down onto your forearms. From here, I want you to try to kick that back foot in towards your hips. So your left foot comes in towards your hips. And now bring your right hand to your right knee, twisting to the right. Either stay here and just feel that energetic twist, or perhaps you can reach back with your right hand and grab that left foot that's kicking in towards your hips. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale as you release the grasp of the foot, release the foot down onto the mat and untwist your body, bringing your right hand back onto the mat. Tuck your left toes under and lift the left kneecap up. With as much grace as you can, try to shoot that right foot to the back of the mat, meeting your left foot, coming into high plank, top of a push-up. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, take your up dog or cobra if you want to have it gentler. And exhale, as you lift your hips up and back, tuck your toes. Take your downward facing dog. Beautiful. On your inhale, lift your left leg to the sky. Open the left hip. Bend the left knee and point that left knee up at the ceiling. Really finding that open space here. Perhaps staying here, or perhaps stepping that left foot behind you, lifting the hips, coming into Wild Thing and reaching that left hand towards the front of the room. If you're in Wild Thing, come back to three-legged dog and square off your hips. From here, step your left foot forward in between your hands. Keep that left knee bent, lift the torso, raise the arms, coming into your crescent lunge. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale, cactus your arms open and look up. Exhale, come back to center. Bring the hands to your heart center and twist your torso to the left as you hook your right elbow on the outside of your left knee. So good. On your next inhale, untwist your body, arms come overhead. From here, spin the right heel down, perhaps stepping the foot in just a tiny bit, so the right toes face the upper right corner of the mat, coming into your warrior one pose. Beautiful. Open your arms to a cactus shape, look up, slight back bend. Come back to center, arms overhead. Release the arms down by your sides and then clasp all 10 fingers together behind your back. Pull them down behind you as you open your heart and look up once more. On your exhale, bow forward, lifting those clasped hands up and over your back. Torso comes to the inside of the left leg. Inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, lift your torso back up. Good. Release the arms, arms come overhead. Straighten the left leg. Inhale to lengthen through your spine and then exhale to fold forward over your extended left leg, coming into pyramid pose. Walking those hands forward on the mat. Trying to keep a long spine here and perhaps bringing your forehead to your knee or to your shin. Continuing to send that breath through the body, letting it circulate. Walk the hands back a tiny bit just so they can frame that left foot and really shift the weight into the right hand and the left foot as you lift the left arm to the sky, twisting your torso to the left, finding the pyramid twist. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale, release your hand to the mat. So good. Pivot onto the ball of your back right foot and bend your left knee. Now lower your right knee to the mat and untuck your right toes. Lift your torso up and raise your arms, coming into your Anjaneyasana pose. Try to pull in both femur bones, pull them up and into your body and engage your core. On your next inhale, cactus your arms open and look up at the ceiling, little back bend. And then come back up, arms come overhead. Beautiful. Bring your hands down to frame your left foot. Slide the left foot forward a little bit and then flex those left toes towards your face for Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits pose. Walk the hands forward on the mat and try to lower your forehead down towards your left shin, folding forward, feeling this stretch in your half splits pose. Walk your hands back slightly and bend your left knee. Slide your right knee back on the mat behind you and then walk your left hand to the inside of your left foot, coming into our lizard lunge. Perhaps heel toe that left foot toward the outer edge of the mat. Again, staying here or perhaps lowering down to one forearm or maybe both if that feels good in your body. Continue to breathe. On your next inhale, come back onto your palms if you've lowered onto your forearms. And from here, I want you to kick that right foot up and in towards your hips. Now, you don't have to reach back and grab it. You can always just keep that feeling, engaging the glutes and the thighs by kicking that heel in towards your body. Let's start with bringing the left hand to the left knee and twisting the torso to the left. Either stay here or reach back with the left hand and see if you can grab that right foot and bring it in closer to you. Finding the twist as well as this deeper stretch in your thighs, perhaps in your back and other places as well. Inhale and exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, release the left foot if you have it clasped. And then everyone untwist your body. Bring your left hand back down to the mat on the inside of your left foot. Tuck your right toes under and lift the right kneecap up as gracefully as you can. And you can do this in steps. Try to shoot that left foot to the back of the mat, coming into high plank pose. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. On your next inhale, take your cobra or your up dog. And on your exhale, shoot those hips up and back, taking downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale, lower your knees to the mat, coming into tabletop. Keep your toes tucked under. Walk your hands back in front of your knees and lift your torso up so you're in a kneeling position with your toes tucked. From here, reach your hands back to touch the tops of your hips, basically, as if you're putting your hands in jeans pockets. Push your hips forward with your hands. Start to look up. You can stay here in your camel ustrasana pose. This is a perfect, beautiful back bend, or you can go deeper. If you go deeper, continue to push those hips forward, making sure the hips always stay in line with the knees and don't go behind them. Continue to send the breath through your body and embrace this feeling of heart opening. Perhaps reach one hand down to your heel, maybe the other, maybe dropping your head back. This is a tough pose, I know, but a beautiful pose for opening up for change, for allowing us to embrace what's different. So take 3 more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more inhale and exhale. On your inhale, lift your torso back up, perhaps pushing your hands into your hips to do so. Untuck your toes. Bring your knees together and your feet together. Start sitting your hips down towards your heels, but at the same time, reach for your heels with your hands. And when you can, wrap your hands around the tops of your heels. Sit up straight. Inhale. And exhale, start tucking your chin and rolling your torso forward and down until you bring your forehead to touch the fronts of your knees and the top of your head to touch the mat. Once you're in this position and you're holding firmly onto those heels, start to lift your hips up, coming into rabbit pose. Try to keep that connection between your knees and your forehead. Keep breathing in this pose. Allow yourself to find a part of comfortability in a little bit of discomfort. On your next exhale, start to set your hips down onto your heels. Then slowly roll up from the bottom of your vertebrae to the top, one at a time. Release your arms by your sides. Good. From here, bring your hands to your knees. Inhale, stretch your heart forward, coming into a seated cow. And exhale, shoot your spine back, rounding it, coming into seated cat, tucking the chin to the chest. Inhale, pull the heart forward for your seated cow. Exhale, round the spine and look down for seated cat. One more time, pull the heart forward, perhaps looking up. Exhale, round the spine, looking down. Beautiful. Roll onto one side of your hips and bring your feet out in front of you. Extend your feet to the front of the mat. Flex the toes towards your face and really try to ground the backs of your legs onto the mat as you lift your spine long. Inhale, bring your arms overhead. Exhale, start hinging at your hips to fold forward, but not all the way yet. I want you to keep a long spine here. Stop about halfway, keeping those arms outstretched towards the front of the room. Trying to find length here, rather than just rolling forward and getting into the pose that you might usually go to. Instead, pull actively forward. Pull that spine forward towards the front of the room as you start to fold deeper. Inhale, extending the spine longer. Exhale, maybe coming down a little lower. Inhale to lengthen towards the front of the room. Exhale, coming down a little lower. Inhale, lengthening that forehead, really pulling towards the front of the room. Arms outstretched. Exhale, deepen a little further. One more time, inhale to lengthen. And this time on your exhale, release your hands to the mat or to the feet or to your shins, wherever they land, folding all the way forward. Getting deep into the stretch. Be where you are. We're going to take 5 breaths here. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly start to walk your hands back towards your midline, lifting your torso up. Really extend that spine nice and long. Bend your right knee and bring it in towards your chest. Then pick up the right foot and bring it to the outside of the left leg. You can either keep your left leg extended or you can bend the left knee and bring that left foot in towards your outer right hip. Inhale as you lift your arms overhead. Exhale, twist your torso to the right. Bring your right hand to the base of your spine on the mat and your left elbow to the outside of your right knee, pushing the elbow into the knee to find a deeper twist, twisting your torso to the right, either looking at the right wall or looking to where it feels comfortable. Just don't strain your neck. Acknowledge where you are and allow it to be what it is. Knowing, yes, you can stretch, you can push yourself a little further, but also knowing your boundaries and limits in this moment and knowing that constantly changes. Nothing is set in stone. Keep breathing. Inhale to lengthen your spine upward, and then exhale to deepen the twist to the side. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more time. And then release the twist, coming through center, bringing the legs out towards the front, stretching them long. Lengthen your spine and bend your left knee in towards your chest. Pick up the left foot, place it on the outside of the right leg. Either keep the right leg extended or bend that right knee so that the right heel comes to the outer side of your left hip, making sure not to sit on your heels. Inhale as you lift your arms overhead. Exhale, twist your torso to the left, bringing your left hand down to the mat at the base of your spine, right elbow to the outside of your left knee, finding the twist in your Ardha Matsyendrasana. Remembering to find the length here in your spine, so you're not curling forward, the shoulders are not hunching. Instead, you're finding that upward lift while also twisting to the left. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let's take one more deep breath here. And then release the pose, untwist your body, lengthen the legs out in front of you. Open the legs up about as wide as the mat. Inhale here, arms overhead. Exhale, start to hinge forward like we did before. Not coming all the way down yet, but extending that spine long and reaching towards the front of the room. Finding a little bit of a different stretch here with these legs a little wider. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale to lower. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale, lowering down a little bit more, not all the way yet. Inhale, lengthen. And this time on the exhale, bring your hands down to the mat or to your feet or wherever they reach. Trying to really keep the backs of your legs grounded on the mat here and your legs straight. Walking your hands forward, maybe coming a little bit deeper. Maybe bringing that forehead down almost in between your shins. Two more breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. On your inhale, start to walk your hands in towards your midline. Good. Roll your back down onto the mat. Slowly. Open your arms out to your sides and allow the palms to face upward. Allow the feet to simply drape open to either side. Inhaling and exhaling as you close your eyes. Allow the breath to soften. Allowing your practice to just melt into the mat as your body does. Letting go, embracing change, and finding some rest in our final pose, Shavasana. Slowly begin to become aware of your body and your space, bringing your awareness back to this moment. Bend your knees and bring the soles of your feet to the mat. And then tuck your knees into your chest and wrap your hands around your shins and roll up into a little ball. Bring your forehead up to your knees, just coming into a little ball, finding something different. Hold yourself in this ball. Just roll up. Feel all your energy just really contracted into this one tiny space. And on your exhale, I want you to release this. Stretch your arms up overhead. Lengthen your feet towards the bottom of the mat. And pull the feet away from the hands, finding this length in your stretch. Keeping your eyes closed in the awareness on the body and what you're feeling. Beautiful. Bend your knees. Bring your hands down onto your heart, one palm over the other. And then from here you can choose to either roll to one side, bringing your hands together under your head as a pillow, and then pushing up. Or perhaps reaching forward with your hands and grasping the back of one knee or both to find a slight rock up, coming into whichever seat feels comfortable in your body. But also maybe think about taking a seat that is different from what you usually do. Perhaps embracing that change, or maybe just embracing whatever you feel right now in this moment. Taking no judgment on yourself. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, sigh it out. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, sigh it out. One more time. Inhale through your nose. Exhale, sigh it out and release. Beautiful. Inhale, bring your arms overhead. Bring the palms to touch, and then exhale as you bring those hands down in front of the third eye center and rest them here for a moment. Perhaps thinking about your perception. Bring the hands down in front of the heart center and hold them here. Perhaps thinking about your openness to change. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with us today. We are humbled and grateful. Namaste.